Mrs. Carter loved her son, Liam, more than anything in the world. He was bright, full of life, and quick to learn new things. But Liam had a habit that troubled her deeply. He was rude. Whenever he wanted something, he shouted. When people did kind things for him, he never said please or thank you. And when adults tried to correct him, he would roll his eyes as though their words were not worth hearing. Mrs. Carter tried everything she could think of to help him change. She spoke to him gently, she scolded him, she begged him to behave better. But nothing seemed to work. At last, tired and heartbroken, she admitted to herself that she needed help. That help arrived in the form of a nanny named Miss Grace. She was calm, patient, and carried with her a gentle strength that showed in her eyes. From the very first day, she noticed Liam's behavior, and unlike others, she did not give in to it. When Liam barked at her to bring him juice, throwing his toy across the floor, she did not rush to obey. Instead, she knelt to his level and said softly, "That is not how we ask, Liam. Try again, but kindly this time." Unused to being corrected, Liam frowned and repeated his demand. But Miss Grace remained still, her voice firm yet calm. "I only listen to respect. If you want juice, ask politely." It was the first time anyone had ever refused him in such a way. Surprised and a little unsettled, Liam hesitated, then finally muttered, "Please, may I have some juice?" Miss Grace's smile lit up the room. "Of course, my dear. That was perfect." And so, the lessons began. At dinner, when Liam snatched his food without thanks, Miss Grace reminded him that gratitude was just as important as the meal itself. At the park, when he shouted at another child to leave the swing, she gently guided him to try asking politely. To his surprise, when he did, the child smiled and gladly shared. Slowly, Liam discovered that kindness opened doors that shouting never could. At school, too, the changes showed. Instead of interrupting, he raised his hand. Instead of pushing, he waited his turn. His teacher praised him. His classmates began to invite him to play more often. For the first time, Liam felt the pride of being respected not for his cleverness, but for his kindness. The greatest change of all came one evening when Mrs. Carter invited neighbors for dinner. In the past, such a night would have been filled with embarrassment and apologies. But now, Liam greeted the guests politely, helped set the table, poured water carefully into glasses, and even asked the visitors if they needed anything. The neighbors were astonished. Mrs. Carter's heart swelled with joy. After the guests left, she hugged Miss Grace tightly. Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, "I thought my son would never change." Miss Grace only smiled. "Every child can learn," she said softly. "All it takes is patience, love, and a steady hand to guide them." From that night onward, Liam was not perfect. No child ever is. But each time he was tempted to forget his manners, he remembered Miss Grace's gentle lessons. Bit by bit, he grew into a boy known not for his rudeness, but for his kindness. And so it was that in a quiet home, with patience and love, a little boy's heart was changed, and a new story of respect and gentleness began.